Independent wrestling is full of charismatic persona, incredible athleticism,
shooting star, press from pressure covered,
and at times, complete chaos.
Got attention.
Don't do it, Will. Oh my gosh!
Senton bomb through the table.
This is where the young guys, the young girls come today to pay their dues, to learn the craft, to start the journey to become the next wrestling superstar. I'm WWE Hall of Famer Booker T, and these are the Indies.
What the indie world meant to me, it was kind of like when you were an artist and you start, like for example a comedian, you start playing the small clubs. If you're a band, the same thing, you start playing the small clubs, you kind of learn your repertoire, you learn how different audiences react. There's like maybe more hostile environment, and it's way more personal because there's less people there, there's less of like things around, it's just you and the audience, and I feel that's when you really learn your craft, that's when you learn how to adapt, how to change, how to find something that works. So to me, it's kind of the foundation to everything I do. And that's Big E, and that's his foundation to everything he does.
Hey guys, welcome to the Indies. We've got a great show for you today. My guests, guys, step into the light with Danny Limelight. Welcome inside the show. I got a very special guest today, Danny Limelight, one of the top independent wrestlers right now in the country, top 10 at least. Hey man, how you doing?
Mi gente, Booker T, thank you so much for having me, man. You just made me sound like a star. I'm doing great. Just got back from the gym. I'm feeling good. Got my week started the right way, you know. How you doing?
Nah, man, you're on your way, man. That's what this thing's about. I'm doing good, by the way, but that's what it ain't about me. You know, it ain't about me. It's about you. It's about the indie world and guys like yourself trying to come up. Talk to me. Talk to me about this journey of professional wrestling that you've been on. Talk to me about that.
Well, man, first of all, as you know better than anybody else, this journey of professional wrestling is not as easy as people may think it may be. You know, you go through a lot of ups and downs. It's a roller coaster of emotions, you know. But I've been blessed, man. You know, I started my career path in the Marine Corps. I did 10 years as a Marine, you know, and then I wanted to pursue my passion of being a professional wrestler. And, you know, I started my way through the independent scenes in Southern California, you know, grinding, trying to make a name for myself, build this brand that is Danny Limelight. And then, you know, from there, I got looked at by the right people, you know, did some work with Impact, jumped over to New Japan. And I think that's where my stuff really started to take off, was at New Japan, you know, having feuds with guys like Rocky Romero, joining Team Filthy, working with Tom Lawler and those guys. And then that's when AEW had hit me up. And then I went over to AEW this last year and started making waves over there, wrestling some of the best in the world, you know, guys you know very well, like Jon Moxley, Matt Sydal, you know, Kenny Omega and those guys. And it's been kind of surreal. Like I've just now recently had the chance to sit down and just embrace all of it that I've done this last year or so. And it's been amazing. I wouldn't have it any other way.
No, man, that's what the journey is all. The one thing that struck me, you know, just that first you know, few words that you spoke is you didn't say anything about money or anything like that. You talked about the journey. You talked about how hard it is. You talk about, you know, that it's you know, it's a lot of bumps in the road, a lot of obstacles. I always say obstacles. You got to go over, around, under. Sometimes you got to go straight through that obstacle for yourself. Creating your own style. What has that been like? And who do you pretty much pattern yourself after, if any?
Yes. like you said, there's always going to be obstacles in life, in anything you do, not just professional wrestling. But the Marine Corps taught me to adapt and overcome, be willing to change, always aware of your surroundings and what's going on. So sometimes you're right. You got to run right through the wall, especially if you feel like, you're underrated or not being seen as much. And I think that's kind of what I wanted to do. And you talk about people that inspired me, or people I patterned my style after, or how I got to get to where I'm at today, as far as making myself this character, this person that I'm portraying on TV. And a lot of it comes from Eddie Guerrero. He was one of my favorites growing up, one of the people I watched the most. I just love that he was a face for Latinos. And that's really what I want to be. I have a little girl, she's Latina, and I want to kind of strive to set the example for her and every other Latina out there, So I got a lot of it from Eddie, the whole papi, the suave, the I call it the sazon, you sprinkle a little seasoning on what you do in the ring. That's what I wanted to do, So a lot of it definitely came from Eddie. As far as my in-ring style, I have a very unique style where I can do the lucha, I can wrestle, I can strike, I can fly with the best of them. And that just came from studying matches, watching people, watching other people, learning, going to seminars, trying to, broaden my knowledge on the business, and really just trying to stay innovative and creative, so that every time people see me in the ring, they see something different, but they get the same, they call it the greatest hits of Danny Limelight. I do my dance, so that's what they want to see. And then I try to sprinkle a little bit of sazon and mix it up for them.
Nah, man. It seemed like you went to the school of Booker T there for a second. I'm serious. No, because I always talk about, you just can't put a piece of chicken in, boiling water and expect for it to taste good.
Right.
I always say, women don't wear 6-inch pumps because they feel good.
Sure, they damn sure don't do it because of that,
But they look good.
They're adding that flavor. They're adding that spice,
Exactly my point. And you being a Marine, one of my favorite movies, this movie called Most Wanted, and one of the lines in it was, "We don't plan, we improvise."
I love that.
And that's 100%. What. Say again.
It's 100% true.
Yeah, that's what good wrestlers do. Being able to work on the fly, think on the fly. You've been to AEW, you've been to New Japan, you've done Impact. What is the ultimate goal for Danny Limelight, or is there any? Is there an ultimate goal? Are you happy where you're at right now?
Oh, I'm never happy with where I'm at. I never like to allow myself to get comfortable, or as we call it in the military, complacent. I feel like complacency kills. Once you get comfortable and satisfied with where you're at, you never strive to get hard, you never strive to work harder. You don't get hungrier anymore. Me, I love the hustle. Like, I love the grit you feel when you're going through the process, when you're grinding, you're driving, you're not sleeping, you're catching flights. I love that part of the process, because when you do get to that next milestone in your career, or you hit that achievement you've been working towards, it makes it feel so much that much more rewarding. Does that make sense? And so as far as like upcoming goals, I just want to continue to grind, continue to build my brand, eventually become a household name. And I just want to inspire the future wrestlers. I want people 5 to 10 years from now, when they're trained to be a professional wrestler and they're trying to think of things to do in the ring, or innovation, that they're like, let me go watch a Danny Limelight match. Let's see what he used to do with this kind of opponent, or this kind of a match, and stuff like that. I just want to grind, set the example, and continue to inspire as many as possible, man. Like, my daughter looks up to me. She sits at home, watches the TV, and says, "That's my dad," and to me, that means more than anything. She loves wrestling. So I just want to continue to work, network, so that eventually, when it's her time to shine, she steps into the limelight and she does her thing.
Yeah, man. You know what, man? You speak with like so much compassion that it's not about you. Even though you're trying to do everything you possibly can to make everything possible, you still seem like it's not about you. It's about, there again, the journey, the daughter, keeping everything intact. That's what wrestling is all about. Is the dream to make it to the WWE? Is the dream to wrestle at WrestleMania on that stage one day? Man,
that would be amazing. My dream has always been main event at Madison Square Garden. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. And I grew up watching WWE. That's where I started. That's the only wrestling that I knew until I started becoming a professional wrestler. I didn't know about the indies. I didn't know about New Japan and Ring of Honor and all these other places out there.
Yeah.
I think wrestling is doing amazing right now. I think it's thriving. I think people are talking about it. Very well. The Booker T song with Bad Bunny. Like, it's becoming like for lack of a better term, it's becoming cool again. People are tuning in. They're watching all these different wrestling programs and everything that we're doing. And I would love to wrestle in the WWE someday. You know, I haven't had a chance yet to get my foot in the door and, you know, step into that ring yet. But one day, hopefully I will. You know, I just got to continue to grind. Like I said, you know, put the pedal to the metal and not let up at all.
You know, that's what a show like this is for, man. As far as putting people like yourself on the map. You know, giving someone like Danny Limelight the rub. Because I watch your stuff, man, and I don't tell too many people that you know, hey man, you're pretty good. You know, and when
You're
I
an
look
honest
at
man.
no, when I look at your stuff, I say, man, this guy's pretty good. And that's the only thing you really need to say about a guy that, you know, has star potential. I'm talking about superstar potential. And you have that. Don't lose the inner Danny Limelight, the person who you are, because that is, you know, so important. I always say my mother, you know, she taught me, you know, please, thank you, yes, ma'am, no, sir. It took me all the way through life. It's the reason why I'm here today talking to you. How does it feel being one of the top 10 wrestlers in the country? That's the one thing that, you know, boom, just stood out to me. Danny Limelight, you know, top 10 wrestler in the country. I remember seeing myself for the first time in a magazine. So, you know, tell me that feeling right there.
It's the culmination of the hard work that I've been putting in these last 5 years that I've been grinding. It's humbling to see so many people talking about it and stuff like that. It's crazy, you know, being able to sit down and talk to you and hear you say these amazing things about me, because you're a 2-time Hall of Famer. You know, you've won every championship you could possibly win. You know, you've done everything in this business. To hear you say something like that about me, you know, I used to watch you when I was a kid. It feels good. Like, it feels like the work that you put in is not for nothing. The missed birthdays, the missed holidays, you know, it's not for nothing. But we still have work to do, because people say I may be top 10, but if they're not saying that I'm number 1, it's not enough for me. So there's still more work to do, and I can't just sit here and pretend I'm on a throne because I'm falling into the top 10 wrestlers in the country. No, there's still way more work to do until it's a unanimous decision that Danny Limelight, the radioactive Poppy, is number 1.
Man, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're on your way, bro. You're on your way. You got a fire that's burning inside of you, and I don't see anything, you know, putting that flame out. You're gonna be your own worst enemy through this journey, and the thing is, most of us are. Most of us in this business, we are our own worst enemy. You know, some get to the top and they forget who they was. Some, start, you know, taking, you know, certain routes to make it to the top. There are no shortcuts or anything like that. And this last 5 years that you've been grinding, putting in the work, it's paid off, because your name got here before you did. And I say, when your name get there before you do, you're doing something right. Being a role model, being positive, that right there is something that you can't teach someone that. Your background taught you that. Like I said, the military taught you that part right there. But there again, this show is not about me. It's about you, Danny Limelight. It's about you getting your piece of the action, your champagne wishes at the end of the day, and your caviar dreams. And it's gonna happen for you, for your fans. What do you got to say to your fans before we get you up out of here today?
Mi gente, first of all, thank you for bringing me onto the show. For the fans listening at home, thank you for continuing to support me, watch me. And I just want to say one thing. If there's anything that you want to do in this life, whether it's wrestling, acting, any kind of career pursuits, passion and being authentic to who you are, genuine drive is going to get you wherever you want to go in life. No hater, no doubter, no nothing could stop you. At the end of the day, the cream does rise. And if you put in the work and you don't give up on yourself and you look yourself in the mirror and you can say, I did everything I could do today to get to where I want to be, you will get there. I guarantee it.
You just heard it from Danny Limelight, right here inside the Indies, man. Man, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Everything that you're doing, anything I can ever do for you, I'm just a Zoom call away. Get with me, bro. I love to network with you and bring you the reality of wrestling, and let the people see some of the expertise of Danny Limelight. We appreciate you, bro.
Thank you so much, Booker T, for having me. Have a great day, sir.
All right. Hey, I want to thank you for being a part of the show today. Make sure you send me your comments. Let me know exactly what questions that you want me to ask the young future stars of the business. But before you get out of here, guys, check out the best of the Indies. And here we go. We got the Wild Bunch going to give Jeff Carson. Look like this. Jeff Carson is in a bad way. 3-on-1. Oh my God! It's gonna be. Ow! What? Wait a minute. The odds just got better. Shup.